Call in, text, or leave a voicemail at 917-283-8956 to be heard on SGP Radio. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts, such as This Muslim Girl Podcast, Girl Talk, Carcast, The Reno Slant, and so much more. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into SGP Radio, where you can stream music, podcasts, and more, featuring shows like Smokers Lounge, Poom Poom Chronicles, Dear DD, Diamond Cash Incentives, Hardy Wrestling, Senor David Uncut, Dirty Heels, Manspace, No Filter, Blush, Girly Girl Podcast, Lazy Bougie, Single Black Female, Girl, We Gotta Talk, Public Enemies, and Synced. We're live every single day. You can call or text Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting 5 p.m. Eastern. Let's get it.
Yeah. And it go a little something like this.
Now little Lisa's only 9 years old. She's trying to figure out why the world is so cold. Why she's all alone and they never met her family. Mama's always gone and she never met her daddy. Part of her is missing and nobody'll listen. Mama's on drugs, getting up in the kitchen, bringing home in at different hours of the night. Starting with some laughs, usually ending in a fight. Sneaking in the room when her mama's knocked out. Trying to have his way and little Lisa says ouch. She tries to resist but then all he does is beat her. Tries to tell her mom but her mama don't believe her. Lisa's stuck up in the world on her own. Forced to think that hell is a place called home. Nothing else to do but get some clothes and pack. She says she's about to run away and never come back.
Like this.
Little Nicole is only 10 years old. She's steady trying to figure why the world is so cold. Why she's not pretty and nobody seems to like her. Alcoholic stepdad always wanna strike her. Yells and abuses, leaves her with some bruises. Teachers ask questions, she's making up excuses. Bleeding on the inside, crying on the out. It's only one girl really knows what she's about. Her name is Little Stacy and they become friends. Promise that they'll always be tight till the end. Until one day Little Stacy gets shot. A drive-by bullet went straight up on her block. Now Nicole stuck up in the world on her own. Forced to think that hell is a place called home. Nothing else to do but get her clothes and pack. She says she's about to run away and never come back. Little Erica is 11 years old. She's steady trying to figure why the world is so cold. So she pops to get rid of all the pain. Plus she's having sex with a boy who's 16. Emotions run deep and she thinks she's in love. So there's no protection, he's using no glove. Never thinking about the consequences of her actions. Living for today and not tomorrow's satisfaction. The days go by and her belly gets big. The father bails out, he ain't ready for a kid. Knowing her mama will blow it all out of proportion. Plus she lives poor, so no money for abortion. Erica is stuck up in the world on her own. Forced to think that hell is a place called home. Nothing else to do but get her clothes and pack. She says she about to run away and never come back.
Yeah, so welcome to another special edition of the SGP Radio. Oh, shoot. God damn it. I was saying, welcome to another special edition of SGP Radio Live. I watched no wrestling since like Friday, so there's no vlog. I gotta get caught with that.
What you going through, ladies.
So forgive me for that. But
sometimes I feel like running away
relaxing,
myself.
taking a break.
So do me a favor right now and close your eyes. And picture us running away together.
I got so much to catch up on.
When we come
Not
back,
the writing,
everything is
fuck
gonna
that,
be
but
okay.
the rest of the podcast episodes should be backed up. But when they come out, it'll come out like that. So binge watch SGP, or listen or download or whatever you want to do, or watch SGP Radio content. I'm saying, all new episodes of all new stuff. Check that out right now, real quick. So we're gonna do things a little different here today. Because again, I didn't watch any wrestling. I'll watch Dynamite tonight. So and I'll be back on live later on tonight. That'll be what, 11 o'clock? When does Dynamite start? 10 o'clock. Yeah. So I'm calling it. You calling? You already heard Sarapine say the hotline 917-283-8956. We're live right now. For obvious reasons, I'm about to have a special call-in guest, so the hotline will be closed. But you can still text, comment, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jar Roberts. Also live on Twitter at Jar Roberts, ATGRALD ROBRTS, live on Twitter. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on what else? Hit up BGP LLC _app on Instagram. Text the hotline. I'm saying questions and whatever you want to say or whatever you want to do. But yeah. All right, cool. Let's get right into it.
Check out Charms Creation based in New York. She makes cake pops, cupcakes, cakes, and so much other treats. Order online and book with the Brandon Gerald Productions LLC app for iOS and Android. Charms Creation can bake for your baby showers, your birthday parties, and any celebratory occasion. Okay, guys? So go ahead and check them out.
Yeah. And it go a little.
Hey guys, I'm Serafina, and thanks for listening to SGP Radio. Stream our podcast and more across SGP Radio platforms, including the Brandon Gerald Productions app for iOS and Android. Or you can visit www.bgpllcapp.com. Stream, download, listen, like, share, subscribe, repost, binge, and enjoy this podcast and so much others like Not Your Token Black Girl, Working Gal's Guide, Black Girl Storytime, Juice Pro Wrestling, Black Guy Wrestling, and Podcasts About Nothing. We have so much more on our stations tailored for her, noir, and wrestling fans, including SGP Radio Originals and our blogs. Enjoy.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. Ooh, in my whole life.
Disable.
But you just beg to
Send me
see
assistant.
me dance. Just
Alright, so
one
we're back.
more
Hold on. Say again?
I said I can be your assistant.
I imagine you interrupted your own plug. I'm about to say
I'm sorry.
But I'm back with my special guest. It's a very special three-depth episode of SGP Radio Live. Because I didn't watch any wrestling all weekend, so no wrestling talk. The hotline is closed for obvious reasons. I have a guest on it, but you can still text the hotline 917-283-8956. You can also text me on Twitter, Instagram, both at Gerald Roberts, ATGRALDROBRTS. Also BGP LLC _ app on Instagram. You could text me, comments. You can also text me on the comment on the app. Just what I'm saying, pretty much you can still interact with us via text or comment section. That's all I'm saying right there. But is this off? Yes, it is. But yeah, without further ado, here's my special guest, Jaida, whose last name escapes me.
You could say shorter.
Say again, shorter?
Shorter, like I'm shorter than you.
Oh, shorter. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, hi.
I kind of feel like this is like a long time coming because like again like we follow each other like already, right? And like I've seen pieces of your story already. You know, I've followed you as you've pursued me. So
Yeah, that's a fact though, and I appreciate this opportunity. I really do.
I just had to get you on here. Get the exclusive first. What you call it? The exclusive interview.
Yeah, that would be that.
But yeah, and real quick before we get into things, just want to say how I know you. Because we went to high school together, right? So about the same age, more or less. And I live around here in Queens Village, right? Or
I used to. So what we're going to be talking about took place in Queens Village, but I'm not actually located there anymore.
Okay, I mean we don't really know each other like that, but like I've seen you around. Like I have 2 memories of you so far.
And what are those?
Huh?
I said, and what are those?
I was gonna say. Well, no. Well, honestly, not a big deal. I'm saying like I remember I was walking on the street to Mateus, right? But Mateus with my girlfriend at the time. And you was walking down the opposite direction, and we crossed paths, and we said, what's up, and then I kept it moving. You was with some guy, I don't know who that was, your brother, your friend, whoever, but yeah, and then the second time, I was coming off the train, I believe, or at least walking down Springfield Boulevard, by where Long Island Railroad is, and I saw you by yourself, I think it was, and you was noticeably pregnant, so that's those my 2 memories of you I have, other than that, so yeah. But yeah.
I get what you mean. I remember seeing you as well.
But every time we saw each other, it's always been good times, cordial, polite. So yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So I mean, I've been seeing I've been reading a lot of stuff, and I just want to give you the time to just tell me what's really going on, what's I've been reading a lot of stuff, been hearing a lot of things. I just want to have you on here to clear the air and give me your side of the story. So whenever you're ready, let's just go right into it.
Okay. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I am actually trying to do a live at the same time on my Instagram. Okay, so basically, my father had, my biological father, he had drugged and raped me in 2014.
Okay.
It basically happened when I was sleeping. He put a needle in my neck when I was sleeping, which is basically him drugging me. Also with that, he's law enforcement, so he can kind of get his hands on anything he wants to.
So when you say, so you mean like a police officer, what specifically does that mean?
Yeah, so both my parents are law enforcement. My mother's a retired CO. She used to work on Rikers. and my father works for the state. He still works right now. I think he made somebody sergeant, something like that, or something a few years ago. So, yeah, they're not like NYPD, but they're peace officers. I guess that's their technical name.
Okay.
Yeah, outside of that, I didn't realize what had happened at that time. It was like I remembered it the next day, but I thought it was like a disgusting nightmare, so I kind of just suppressed it, put it out of my head. What else? Yeah, so I really wasn't aware of my own situation until 2019. I became aware at that time because my daughter, who, by the way, is my daughter and my sister, because I wound up having a baby by my father. She basically was like moving weird, doing, I don't know, things that I haven't taught her to do. So I started questioning her, and then it turns out that my father was molesting her.
Well,
so
what was she doing? Like,
I'm not really sure exactly, but from what she said at that time, he rubbed his nasty, sneaky thing on her tutu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess along the lines of everything but penetration, and it's like so weird to even say. Well, weird is, for lack of better words.
And she was telling you this?
Yes, those were my 4-year-old at the time, 4-year-old's words.
Okay.
Yeah, so alongside that, so basically, I had a baby by my father, and I didn't know until 2019, because by the time, I questioned her and she said all of that, everything kind of came to me as like a flash, like, I don't know, it was like a movie scene, like all the images in my head was like, oh shit, everything makes sense now.
So, okay, so you had, so it's my fault. Forgive me. So she was 4 in 2019, or you had her in 2019?
It was born in 2015. This happened in 2014.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of any of this until 2019.
Okay, and then so one day you realized you were pregnant, right? And so like.
Oh, yes, I was dating a guy at the time.
Okay.
It was weird for us because, not for nothing, everything was always protected if, things did occur. But I was always with him, so we just assumed, shit happened. So
you thought that, so despite being safe, you thought that it was, you two conceived it, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and he also thought that, but we wound up getting DNA tested, and it said he wasn't the father. So then we were like, oh, okay, that's weird. Who the fuck is it then? So I was just confused for like years.
When did you decide to get a DNA test?
Oh, I wanted after probably like 2 months after I had my daughter. I wanted to go on public assistance. So with public assistance, they're like, okay, we'll help you, but like, where's the dad? So that's when they were like, well, okay, if he's the dad, here's a test that says he's the dad, and the test said he wasn't the dad. So
were you together? Were you together at the time, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. So you want to verify, the father of the child got you. Okay. Just make sure my slow ass is following. It's me. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
Okay.
Make sure my. So okay, cool. So then, the blood test reveals that it's somebody else's, right? So like, so initially, right, what was going through both, like, what were both of you reacting? Because I know for a fact, well, not for a fact to say that, but like, being a guy, I feel like, well, what the hell is going on here? Like, who you sleeping around with, or
right.
Was it that? Was it a case of that? Like,
no. So like I said, we were always together. Like it was one of those summertime loves, and neither one of us had a job, so it was like nothing to really question, to be honest. So by the time the judge said that he wasn't the father, he was like, excuse me? Like, he was confused, just as confused as I was, and I was happy about that. Like, all right, you're not trying to play me. Cool. It was like that, but,
And maybe, did you think it could be like a false, Like the
I
test was
felt
wrong?
like it was. I'm like, this judge got to be racist. It got to be something, because this shit is not adding up. Like, you know, being real with myself, I know what I'm up to. So it's like, I know for a fact, or at least I thought, that I wasn't with anybody else. So, you know, yeah, I was just really confused.
Okay. And so fast forward, right? So did you ever, like, did the process ever go through, you being on public assistance?
Yeah, they just, I don't know, I guess they just reduced the amount that I could have got.
Okay. So you're living with your parents, right? I
was living with them, yep.
Okay, and then, you know, you fast forward, right, a couple years later, and then she's, so, like, wait, real before I get to that, right, so, like, where's the gang, so, like, did you, like, always know before that, or, like, did you, like, put two together, like, afterwards, after your daughter told you?
I put it together after she told me that.
Okay, so, like, were you gonna, I know it's, like, a lot of times, right, when people, like, have been do something traumatic such as that, whether it's, you know, sexual or just violent or whatever, their mind, what they'll do is they'll make you, like, they'll play a trick on you, make you forget, but then tell you in pieces, like in dreams or stuff like that, right? So was that the case with you? Like, would you have, like, these weird dreams every once in a while, or, like?
Yeah, especially when I really got into meditating and doing yoga and that type of thing again. It opened up a lot. It revealed a lot. So, yeah, I was having those random thoughts and stuff, and it was just a bunch of confusion.
Okay, and so, like, when your daughter told you this, was it, like, an explicit way? Like, was it, like, did she say that she was dreaming, or did she say that, she was, like, wide awake and your dad came in and...
She was wide awake. She said that, I'm trying to multitask. Yeah, basically...
Yeah, I'm getting... Hold on. Is that you? Because, like, I'm getting, like... It's like, the app notifies me when there's new visitors. Is that you?
I mean, so it's probably people from my Instagram, because I had put the link on my Instagram.
And they tell me, like, from where they are, too. Like, from Yonkers, from Georgia, from Queens.
Oh, hey, Sky.
Yeah, I get notified whenever there's a new visitor.
More people is coming on there, you know, that moral support.
So, shout out to that. We got Georgia, right now we got Georgia, we got Yonkers, we got Brooklyn, Queens. So, yeah.
Oh, hey, guys. Yeah, no, I'm already on it with you, but I put it on my Instagram separately from that.
I'm trying to make some ad revenue. You gotta stop me. Stop.
Wait, you said what?
No, I said you gotta stop going live on Instagram. Come, try to make that ad revenue real quick. Here. Let me stop. Nah, I'm playing with you. Nah,
I got you. But yeah.
But yeah, we was saying. Yeah, you was telling me about what were you saying? I was asking you about, like, so how did she tell you? It was, like, very just straight up, like.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it like?
So it was like.
Was it like a happy mood, or like a scared?
Oh yeah.
set?
So, she was like, alright. So like I said, I lived with my parents. So it became a time when, like, I would pick her up from school, because right after I had her, I had to finish school, minor details, and I had put her in daycare or whatever, probably like 2 months old. So basically, you know, as she's getting older and we're living there with them, she didn't, like, when I would pick her up, when I would, like, get from school or come from work, whatever, she wouldn't want to go back to my parents' house. She'd be like, oh, can we go to one of your friends' house or something like that? So after a while, it's like, all right, but why you don't want to go? Like, she'd really be upset. Like, so I had to start questioning that. And then, you know, with her behavior, I'm very conservative person for the most part. So, you know, her moving certain ways or doing certain things is like, where the fuck are you getting that from? So, I'm sorry, I curse a lot. I have a little bit of anger problems. This is probably why. But yeah, so you could say that basically she outright told me when I started questioning her, but it's like, you know, she was little at the time. She's still little, but so it was like baby words, you know, but she knew what she was talking about, and she could articulate it to me.
So was she? I was trying to ask, like, was she telling you the same way that she would tell you, "Oh, my day at preschool was fun. Like, I went to the bathroom. I accidentally saw Tyler's wee wee or something like that." Or was it like she like? Or was it more like a more punitive tone? Like, "Mommy, last night, Grandpa did something." Whatever. Was it more like a punitive tone, or was it more like a how my day at school was? Huh?
I'm gonna say, I said that's a great question. I'm gonna say both. It was, she was more down about it. I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you moving like that? I wasn't pressing her so she wouldn't feel intimidated, but it was like she knew I was being serious with her. So she was like, I don't want to come back to... She used to call my parents Yaya and Papa at the time. So she's like, I don't want to come back to Yaya and Papa's house. And I'm like, so me neither, because they used to get on my nerves. For other reasons, they're just terrible people all around. But I'm like, okay, why though? I'm questioning her. Like, what's going on? Like, why are they bothering you? So she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, like how? Like, would they yell at you? Did they hit you? And that's when she's like, oh, Papa rubbed his nasty, sticky thing on my tutu. That's it. I felt like I was about to drown and float at the same time. Like, I don't know. That's just crazy. She articulately said that. So,
how did she know what that was, though?
Well, she's an intelligent little being, for starters. But yeah, exactly. How would she know what that is? So, obviously, she know what she's talking about. He's doing something.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I feel dumb and kind of embarrassed for saying this, but like when I was her age, right? Like, right? My dumb ass used to think that like, so how like used to think that like all like man and female both had penises.
I don't think that's dumb at all.
I was like, what's it called? I forgot how it came up in conversation, but like when I was her age, I used to think that, and then one day I was like, how come Victoria doesn't have a birdie? My sister, yeah.
Okay, now I get that. Well, it's also the way people are raised. Some kids are exposed to a lot more things and explained to. Does that make sense? Like, some people's parents are just, they keep it real with them more so than other people. Like, no, Santa Claus is not real. So I don't know. It depends on how the child is raised, how the child develops, because everybody's different. That was just your mindset at the time. You wasn't really focused on that type of thing, so it's not really something you're gonna really identify, I suppose. I guess that's what I would say. But like I said though, as far as my daughter, she's very intelligent. But minor details, sidebar. In this type of matter, a child can come out very disformed. A lot of abnormalities. I think that's what's called. But she's like the opposite. She is like a baby genius. Like for real. Like she has no and I'm so thankful. She has no mental health issues. There's nothing wrong with her body.
There's no adverse effects.
Yeah.
From being
it's like she got literally the opposite. She's smart as fuck. Like for real. So I'm saying that to say that at that time, I would teach her different things, like above a baby's age, because she could understand it. So we're learning about snakes and dinosaurs and bears and that type of thing and stuff like that. So I guess that's how.
I think it's like a generation thing.
That's true. Our generation is probably a little bit more stupid. That makes sense.
No, these kids like being coming out now, right? Like just they're getting smarter and smarter, younger and younger. Like
yeah, that's a fact.
Like using so my partner Sarah, right? Like her daughter is like just turned 9, and she be using words like ostensibly and ubiquitous and stuff like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
To the point like one time the teacher sent her home with a note saying, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but please let Desi do her own homework from now on. And she had to go to the school and tell her that she didn't help her whatsoever. This is all her, stuff like that. So that's good.
Cool though.
Huh?
She said that you look into getting her skipped a few grades. she needs her mind to be challenged.
And stuff like that. But yeah. But it's not about her right now. It's about you right now.
Okay, so moving forward, I wind up getting her checked out. I took her to the hospital. Basically, I made a report on everything. Basically, and this is so weird. Like, this shit is really real. So, like, if I'm pausing this because I'm trying not to be emotional, you know, I gotta keep it gangster. So, they basically said she wasn't penetrated. So there was no way that really proved that anybody did anything to her. Alongside that,
quick question. So like, when she was conceived, how old were you?
That's a great question. I got pregnant at 19.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, so I had her at 20. What was I about to say? So because, you know, no real, I guess, damage was done, I just wound up getting a ACS case, which was crazy. It turns out that I guess they, as in my parents, I guess they have, you know, certain pull or like resources or whatever. Basically, they wound up getting me an ACS case, and then the ACS worker was trying to turn the shit on me, and they, I guess, think she was about to take my child, because I'm the type to move to Mexico. Keep that taking my child. Minor details. They was like, the ACS worker was trying to tell me, like, her reports or her writings are showing that I'm a possible suspect in putting my child in harm's way. But it's like, when this happened, I would have either left her with my mother for a little bit for me to go to the store if it was like bad weather conditions or something. If I was running late from work, my mother would pick her up from daycare, which, by the way, was her sister's daycare. My aunt, whatever, had her own daycare. Minor details. So it's like, what am I trying to say? It's basically like they're using their money and resources to get out of this shit, to maneuver through it. They had the lady basically trying to turn the case on me. Like, it turned into a case, and she's trying to turn it on me. And I'm just like, you know, I'm not really, I don't know, because for one, I have to process all of this, that my daughter just told me that, oh shit, my father probably is her father, and then I'm looking through pictures, they look alike here and there, everything's starting to make sense. It's no time to really process anything, because I still have to be a mom.
So you went to ACS. Did you ever think about going directly to the cops?
Yes, I filed a report, an actual report. I went and got a...
What was the report for?
Basically against my parents.
Yeah, but like, was it like, you know, for statutory rape or something like that, or?
Good question. So, like I was about to say, I feel like I was kind of, for lack of better words, dumb at a point in time. My parents didn't really teach me, you know, survival, important shit. So a lot of things I didn't know or think to research or to call her and stuff like that. So I'm trying to say. So, yeah, at that time, I'm trying to tell the advocates that were you know, basically on me, like the ACS workers and stuff like that. What is that called? It's some other place in Queens or whatever, that basically when kids get hurt and stuff like that, they go there and then they interview them and try to figure shit out. We was there. We wound up there. So I'm trying to tell these people that, you know, outside of me questioning her and him doing that to her, you know, I feel like he did this to me. So they're like, basically, since I can't prove, this day, this time, that none of that is valid, and they can't take what she's saying into consideration because she's too little. So it wasn't statutory, it wasn't nothing happened at all. He's just still living life, going to work, doing whatever else his creepy ass be doing. I don't know. Outside of that, like I said, I did make a police report separate from that.
Okay.
And I got it as far as I got it to the level of one of the detectives or whatever. He basically came to my residence at the time and did a, what is that called? A mouth swab test, basically a DNA test for me and my daughter. And he said that he was going to go to my parents' residence the next day and collect my father's. I asked them, you know, in the process of all of that, how long does this stuff usually take? They're like 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, perfect. I called the police station. I called up there in like 2 weeks, and then they're like, oh, this thing takes time. It's going to be a month. Like, basically saying it was a whole different attitude, everything. Like, I already knew that my parents had got to them. So it's also because my parents is law enforcement. The majority of the time, law enforcement is going to stick with law enforcement. So they're going to contact him, have their own little separate meeting off record, and however else that went down. And that was the outcome. Nobody did anything. I didn't get any paper or report or evidence that shows that they actually took his DNA and that the numbers don't match. I'm not getting any emails or anything like that. So they basically covered it up for him, and that was the 105th precinct in Queens, by the way.
Is that the one in Queens Village?
It's right by Queens Village. It's actually
Belrose.
You know, like if you head to Green Acres Mall.
Okay.
That what is that called?
The Cross Island.
Yeah. It's like by the Cross Island, but it's like under like that train, the LIRR. Yeah. It's like a station. It's a police station right over there. It's that one.
Yeah, that's the Elmont station. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I thought he was going live. I'm not seeing anything. I thought he was going live on Instagram. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, yeah, about Instagram. My computer wanted to be difficult, and I couldn't focus to answer your questions and continue to do that. So I'm going to go live probably later or another day because it's not working.
All right.
I don't know. But, yeah, outside of that, court on Archer in Jamaica in Queens, and the family court helped him cover it up as well. So they were supposed to give me an order of protection, but they kept giving me a temporary order of protection. I kept having to go back up to the court just for a temporary order of protection, which is, I learned after that wasn't supposed to go like that. I had got a petition for him to take a DNA test, and which is basically the same thing I tried to do with the police station. And they gave us a date and all of that. When it came time for it, I'm there. You know, I have everything, paperwork and stuff that I need. They have us in this small-ass room that's, you know, I don't know. It was a bunch of shady shit is what I'm trying to say. So then this official, this lady or whatever, she's like, oh, well, it's basically not valid. Like, it's done with because you missed the date that was supposed to happen. And I'm like, that makes no sense. This is the only date y'all gave me. She's like, basically, you know, the vague answers, short responses is the attitude. And I'm sitting literally across a small, round-ass table from my father. Like, wow.
So, like, all this time, like, are you still living with them? Like, how's the...
No, right. I didn't mention that part. You're right. Okay, so that day that I had the discussion with my daughter, I left that day.
Okay.
That day.
And where did you stay?
Huh?
Where did you stay?
I was at this friend's house, that friend's house, his cousin's house. I was all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah, I was moving around a lot until I got us into the shelter system, and they was not trying to accept us at first because they're like, oh, well, you lived at a whole private home residence. Like, we need a letter from them saying that you can't stay there. And I'm like, you know, the stupid shit. So it was a lot of booby traps I ran into from that time till now.
So are you still dating that same guy from before, or?
I don't even know who you were talking about just now. No, I'm definitely not. We are friends. We became close after all of that. But yeah, we were. I don't know. We ain't together.
Okay.
Yeah. We were. It was one of those we're better off as friends things. And then with all of that happened, that was like a lot for us emotionally. You know, we're still young people, and then it's like, oh, okay, I got my girl pregnant, but I didn't. Okay, no, I didn't. But then who did? And like, it's a lot. And then to come to find out, like, oh no, your father did that. Oh wow, okay, so Yeah, we keep it cordial. He'll answer me if I hit him up, but it's not like we're not on that type of time.
Okay. All right. So you were saying how you moving from pretty much just staying at people's places for a very amount of time.
Yeah, it was like like I said, I was young at the time, so most of my friends, like, they live with their parents and stuff, so I can't just be like, oh, let me and my baby come stay with you until I figure life out. Like, it wasn't, like that. So it was this friend's house for tonight and tomorrow, and, figure out the next one after that type of thing. This was all during the summertime, too, of 2019, so I would basically just take her to the park, like, every day, literally every day. And, let her play with the kids, get that shit on her head. And then, then I would be figuring out where we were going to stay. Besides all of that, I don't know. I have my own evidence now. I wind up finding a place that does court-certified DNA tests, basically. And the one that I specifically got done is called a siblings test. That basically, kind of speaks for itself. I got a mouth swab done for me and my daughter. And the results literally came back probably in less than 2 weeks, minor details. And it says I'm her mother and her sister. And it has a whole bunch of diagrams and numbers and a lot of comparisons. And it says that it's 99.9% or 99 point, I don't know. It's basically almost 100. I don't know. So, for me, I know I'm jumping around in the story a lot, but for me to actually, have that in my head for so long of, like, confusion on really who is her father, and then to have all of that, the thoughts of my father and how that happened and stuff. And I remember I just thought it was a nightmare. So to then go through all of that, and then now I'm like, all right, I'm trying to tell people, but it's not making sense. He don't want to take no test. He's getting out of it. Now I got the test done. I see the actual proof of myself. It's like, oh shit, he really did that to me. Like, wow. And if you're wondering, also, my mother literally watched him do it. So from what I can remember going through it, which was what I thought was a dream, basically I came back home late one day, one night. I went to sleep, all of that, skipping around. I went to sleep. They came in my room. He put a needle in the right side of my neck. And then I had waking up and passing back out. But I remember seeing my mother, like, in my room, like, in my doorway. And I'm, like, crying for her, trying to reach for her, and I'm passing back out. And I remember my father on me. I remember what that felt like. Just a bunch of disgustingness. So he drugged you, but how did you, like, know that this happened? I'm not doubting you by any means, but I'm just, like, how would you verify that this in fact happened? I can't prove it, like, oh yeah, look, I recorded it, this is him in action. I know because I got the DNA test done for me and my daughter.
Yeah. But, like,
but outside of that, no, it's just, I literally went through it. I remembered it. It's just, I kept putting it to the side because I'm like, nah, that's just nasty as hell. What the fuck am I thinking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just thought it was a nightmare. So
yeah.
I kept it.
You got reoccurring dreams, right?
Yes. Like a lot, though. Like, every other day I was thinking about this stupid shit.
It's very interesting how the mind works, because, like, you could be unconscious and stuff like that.
So I literally went through it. Like, I remember him on me. I'm trying to push him off. I'm crying. I'm like, all right. Like, it was a lot, and I remember it. It's just I said the wrong word. I suppressed it and put it to the side, and I'm like, nah, I'm tripping. But then it turns out I'm not tripping. So it's just really my word against theirs. But then at the same time, I had a baby from this, and I have court-certified DNA evidence.
I was watching. So real quick. I'm gonna tie it back into in a few sentences, but real quick. So, like, the reason why I haven't been on since Wednesday of last week was because I pretty much took, like, an unofficial break, really, with my writing and like with recording all that stuff. And in that time, I was playing some Mega Man, and I was getting caught up on Dragon Ball Super, which I never actually watched in its prime, but I started to get caught up on that. And then I also got caught up on Justice League, right? And like this reminds me of the episode when they made a clone of when they made like a clone of Supergirl, right? And like she kept getting these weird ass dreams of her doing like bad stuff, and what's it called? And she's like fighting a machine that's trying to kill her, Vanilla, right? And so they go to this lab, and she's like, "Hey, listen, what's up? Can you not explain this dream to her?" She was in this lab, and that machine over there was attacking her, and right? Oh, whoa, there's a logical explanation for that. Remember, she got hurt, right? So Superman brought her here, and all this was like what you call it, a machine that helps us tend to her, because remember she's not like human. She's like her skin's very tough, right? And the reason why we had kryptonite in the needles because we had to like make a decision, and your skin was too tough, so that's why you need kryptonite, whatever. Which it made sense, right? But you find out it was a lie. They were trying to get her DNA so they could clone her. But my point of like saying all this, right, is that stuff like this that I saw on TV and read in books seem to have a very common theme. Like even though that the mind's very, even though that like you might not be conscious, you're still like you're like, even though it might seem like you're conscious, your unconscious mind still like perceives, remember these things, and like reveals it to you in pieces, any way you can. Like on one of these shows I was watching, right? I think it was Empire, and like the little girl, she was like, "I'm scared of ravens," right? She's scared of ravens, and then like the baby father finally comes. The baby father who's been abusing her mom comes in, right? And he got a tattoo of a raven on his shoulder. So that's what, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like little clues like that, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, wait, can I interrupt you real quick?
Go ahead.
I have an example of what you're saying. As far as clues, after I had my daughter, like I said, I still lived with my parents. So I remember, speaking, I'm going back and forth, speaking from a perspective of, like, how can I explain it? Yes, speaking of basically, like, trying to figure everything out. My mother used to randomly say to me, the baby has you in your father's nose. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, granted, I have his nose, okay? I don't have your nose. I get it. Why not just say she has my nose, or, like, and then I would try to really press her and question her, and she would stop talking. Like, not trying to answer that question at all. And now she used to get on my nerves. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you saying it like that? And then, also adding that right after I had my daughter, my parents became even more cruel to me than they were when I was growing up. So it was a lot. So I just thought that was just a part of her. I don't know. Today's Wednesday, and I feel like being stupid. I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of the story Precious in a way.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a whole Precious story. I'm Precious, just a little bit better. Like, what the fuck? And it's so crazy because I actually read the book before I seen the movie, and then to go through that, I'm like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? Yeah, that shit is real. Yeah, so my mother used to say really a lot of weird things. My grandmother used to say, that baby looked like Draper. She used to call my father by his last name, whatever. So, it had like, it was like clues basically saying like they was really trying to tell me low key, but they not. Like that's still her husband or whatever. And then that basically just proves to me that a lot of other people in my family already knew that this should happen, and they all literally been lying to me for years, trying to cover it up for him for whatever reason.
Well, again, like I don't know, and but I mean I wouldn't say that. Just maybe they thought, is a resemblance of saying no. Because like a lot of people resemble their grandparents, stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
right,
talking.
Which is what I was trying to truck it up to, but no, like I get what you're saying, and then that's like on a positive note. But at the same time, I'm speaking from the from the standpoint of when all of this shit did go down, when I made that first report, nobody in my family really fucked with me. Like, my little cousin did, who's on here too, by the way. Hey, girl. But everybody else who, you know, was significant in my life growing up.
Shout out to Jersey real quick.
Thank you.
Another new Orange, New Jersey. Another new visitor.
Oh, okay. That sounds like some of my family too.
East Orange.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so it was really weird because I'm like, okay, like a lot of other people had to have known about it because the way they started moving with me was so weird. It was like, but you're not even going to ask me if I have food, like if we're good. Like when they did answer me or something, it was small talk conversation about nothing. Like nothing was making sense. Like, y'all don't know I moved out of my parents' house. Like, y'all don't know that my father was molesting my daughter. Like, nobody cares about none of this. Like, I was really confused.
Well, maybe they didn't know. I'm not really, you know, saying anything about anything, but I'm just speculating. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't know.
Yeah, but no, what I'm trying to say is when everything went down, everybody was acting weird, and like it. Putting all the clues together at the end, it's like, okay, you knew about this and you knew about that. Because at the same time, when I'm going to court against my parents, trying to get this done and this done, my aunt who had the daycare that my daughter was in when I first had her, which is my mom's sister, by the way, her and her husband was showing up to court with my parents, like as their witness. So I kind of feel like, you know, as a woman and as, you know, a mother herself, is, you know, is.
But how could they be a witness if they weren't there in the event?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, where are you coming from? What are you here for? What are you a witness of? You're just
maybe a character witness. If I sound louder, because I'm putting my socks on, and wait for the mic.
It's cool. I'm about to roll up. I'm sorry, that detail. What I'm saying is. A lot of it just didn't make sense. Their actions and, you know, me blatantly telling certain people in my family, like, yeah, this is what happened. And then I'm paying attention to the way they're responding to me and that type of thing. It's like, all right, like, if somebody's really close to you, you with them like the majority of us, you know, every season and stuff like that, and then something tragic happens, wouldn't you want to check on that person? Hit them up, make sure, you know, they're mentally okay or they at least have food, you know, that type of thing. Like, I'm still young as hell when all of this happened. Mm-hmm. So the fact that certain people didn't reach out or they just stayed away from asking me, am I okay, or something like that, it just kind of proved to me that they knew about it to begin with. But the fact that my aunt and her husband were consistently, you know, showing up to court with my parents and stuff like that, it's like are you don't care that I'm saying that this man raped me and molested my daughter? Why are you their witness? Like, I don't understand. So I feel like they have something to do with it. They have something to do with it as well. Or I feel like my father has some type of, well, obviously he has to be controlling my mother, because for her to not, you know, for her to still be with him right now, it makes absolutely no sense. But besides that, for her sister and her sister's husband to then be showing up with them, like, I'm just confused. And then they weren't even trying to address me. They didn't want to make eye contact with me or none of that. But the first time I brought my daughter with me, I thought I was supposed to, they were like trying to talk to her. Oh, hi, cutie pie, like that type of thing. Okay. They got shut down because, you know, I'm about to talk to my daughter, not me. But I'm trying to say, like, no, I'm at a point where I feel like a lot of my family members, or at least on my mother's side, knew about this. And it's just crazy.
You said earlier a few minutes ago how you have family from Jersey listening to, so like how is the state of your family? Is it like divided now? Is like a little division in the family? Like how's the family dynamic look like now?
So to be honest with you, I can only answer from me, and as far as me being with my family, I don't really know how to word certain things.
The family as a whole, like the whole, like you know, like
yeah. So what I'm saying is, I wouldn't know. Okay. Once I made that first report, I have not been around any of them. Either they don't answer me, or the conversation kind of goes nowhere, or it's about nothing important, nothing helping me with my child, or anything like that. So it's like not there. I don't show up for family functions, so I don't know what it's like. And then that's also for safety reasons, and not because I feel really scared of them, but in a way, yeah, because, you know, when this shit does hit the fan, because it will, and I'm working on it, my father's facing a lot, like a lot of money to give me, a lot of jail time, a lot of shit. Feel me? His character is going to be completely diminished, and from
You gotta I forgot. I was supposed to Google the laws for like what you call it, statute of limitations for rape and statutory rape. I kept getting distracted.
Yeah, so, as of right now, or at least the past year or so, that statute of limitation has been lifted up, for lack of better words. And as an example,
extended. You mean?
Yes.
Like it's being extended. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you meant like lift that first.
You know the whole shit with huh?
I think at first I thought you were gonna say like lifted, as in like like it's been expunged or whatever the term is.
Terminated. I don't know exactly what they did with it, but I know it's not really valid right now. So it's an example would be to talk about R. Kelly.
So it's not valid then, as we're saying. So the statute of limitations is up, so it's no longer a valid case, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so what he actually gets off on, I should say that differently. The way my father has been maneuvering his way out of this is, for one, this happened at their private home, not an institution like a Boy Scout or a church or some shit like that. And a lot of lawyers and these organizations, they only want to go after or fight for people that, you know, went through something like this at an institution because there's more money involved, opposed to suing my parents. They just probably just their pension or whatever, which is good for me. But what I'm saying is, it's a lot. They don't really want to be bothered with it. So that's the one. It's hard to really get somebody to represent me, to advocate for me. Also, I was 19, so he also gets off on, you know, I wasn't a minor.
Yeah, but it's still domestic violence, right? And
it's domestic violence. It's incest.
Yeah.
It's rape to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, but he seems to be getting off on those small technicalities.
Okay. So I guess it's kind of like it kind of like goes hand in hand with this other question, but real quick, so like, what's your how do you plan to how should I say? Do you plan to continue to like? How do I say? Well, it seems to me that the statue is up. So like, what's your plan now? Like what?
Okay, I get what you're saying. All right. I'm gonna have to answer this a little bit weird. So what I mean is, I don't necessarily want to give you my plans per se, because I'm more of the do what I do and then just pop up with shit. Like right now, nobody really expected me to be doing this right now. That type of thing. And for a lot of reasons, like I said, I have certain family members on my Facebook and other social medias. My father has a twin brother, and he has a social media. So it's a lot, basically, that by me saying so much, it could, you know, hinder what I need to do. But to vaguely answer your question, I'm going to say I'm not going to stop until he's where I want him to be.
Okay.
Like, until this case is, you know, done with, till I could just do my thing. Like,
okay,
paranoid outside. Like, it's a lot that's with this shit. So when I feel at peace, that's when I'm going to stop.
Well, it seems to me that, you know, the statute might run out. You could still, you know, try to see if you can get back years of child support.
Oh, hey, mind you, she just turned 7, so 7 years of state income. I'm gonna need that.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
And don't get me wrong. Let me say this too, though. It's not about the money, but then it is. So for one, it's because they really treated me like shit my whole life. Like, they used to put locks on the refrigerator. I had to ask for Eggos, wait till the show was done to get fed, like all types of shit, like for real. And I literally have pictures, evidence to prove all of this. Like, for some reason, I've been taking pictures of all they stupid shit my whole life. So I literally can back all the shit up. But what I'm saying is, to have to go through all of that, literally them making our household like a prison, like how they work, like where they work at, and then them doing this, and then him going after my daughter too. It's like, bro, you did too much. Like no, now it's time for you to stop. For you, like, you know, that type of thing. So it's like, no, it's not about the money. It's more so about me healing and having mental peace, not being paranoid to be outside with my kids, that type of thing. Like, for me, not to have these thoughts of wanting to go take his head off in my spare time, shit like that. It's a lot with this. So, yeah, I don't know. I just want to be, I want the majority of everything they have, so I can just move on with my life, provide for my children the way I feel, you know, is necessary. Because, for one, and it's probably fucked up to say, but I probably wouldn't even have children now if I didn't have my daughter, if he didn't do that. She was my first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have 3, by the way.
3?
Yes.
And wait,
yeah, I don't like to post.
all three of them are his, or what's going on with that?
Oh, no. Come on, man.
Okay.
Follow the story. I left.
Okay.
No, just her.
Okay,
Just my oldest.
And so, okay, now keep going.
Yeah, so I want money more so because I feel like I was made a statistic. I wasn't out wilding and, you know, not being responsible, which then landed myself in predicaments and having to be homeless and that type of thing. They literally did that shit to me. They literally fucked my life up, figuratively and literally. So it's like, no, I need some type of compensation for it. Like, they have like 5 vehicles in their driveway waiting to just, you know, any, meeny, miny, oh, I'm gonna take the Maxima today. Like, no, like, I don't feel like he needs any of that. I feel like he needs to go, you know, sit in a cell somewhere and think about why he shouldn't have did that, you know? And as far as my mother, I feel like she at least needs to be in a psych ward, because when was it ever okay to really, I mean, and a lot of women do it nowadays, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, that seems to be a reoccurring theme. You know, women seem to, like, take the side of their man.
And then, as a woman, I can understand why, kind of, because, you know, like, me going through this right now, this would be considered mommy and daddy issues. So, figuratively, or, you know, in most cases, or a person with, you know, my, mental condition, I'm going to say it like that, you know, my type of trauma and stuff like that, I'm going to want to be comforted. I want somebody next to me. I don't want to be by myself, like that type of thing. So, you know, as a woman, you kind of just run to a man, whoever shows you that attention you feel like you want, or that's good enough for you, you're going to stick to it, and nothing else is going to make this person, or make me leave this person because they love me. Like, it's really like that. But she wasn't mature enough to be like, no, but that's my baby. Like, I carried her, I birthed her, regardless she's a child. Like, you know, like, this shit is just wrong to begin with. Like, she doesn't have her own mind. He's controlling her. So it's like, I get it, but then I'm not ever going to understand, because, like, what? Like, you came after my child too? Like, you didn't have enough? Like, damn, but your whole bitch is right there. You're married to her, y'all. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm confused on where the fuck their minds are at.
Well, I mean, it sounds to me like it's some kind of illness, you know.
Right.
You know, because to go after like a baby, pretty much, it's just
that part, right?
Yeah, it seems like some kind of something's wrong is there. You know what I'm saying? It seems kind of, some kind of illness is playing a part in that. So
yeah.
Like,
so I was saying that to say, it's not about the money for me. It's more about healing and, you know, literally getting us help. But then it's just like, if I had a certain amount of money right now, I could put my children in you know, extracurricular activities, dance or something like that, and then I can actually have time to myself and go work on my mental health and shit like that. But it's like, I'm still handling everything, and it'd be a lot. So it's like, yeah, it's about the money, and I want to see him incarcerated, because the type of person that he is, mind you, I know them, or at least I thought I knew them. They raised me, you feel me? So with that being said, I'm just saying that to say that my father was always very arrogant. He's one of those, oh, I'm a tough guy. Look at me, I got muscles, you know? I could get loud. I could fuck shit up if I wanted to. Like, he's very arrogant. So I feel like he needs to be, you know, on the other side of telling people what to do. He needs to be spreading and, you know, and going through all of that shit because, like, no.
So you want both justice and vengeance, which I believe that kind of go hand in hand.
I believe so too.
So yeah, you know, so pretty much two last questions. Then we could wrap it up. Really, I'm losing track. I should really write stuff down more often. But
well, maybe we can do it again one day. We can have everything better.
Well, okay. So I was gonna ask. So that was then, right? It's like, what's going on now? It's like, you know, what's the situation now? Like, as far as like you, like, how are you progressing, and like, you know,
right.
You know, like, did you, are you happily employed? Are you like living somewhere on your own peacefully? Like, what's the give us the resolution to this story?
Okay. Well, I went through the shelter system. Very annoying process. I finally got my own place. So yeah, I had my own place. Yeah, I have 2 other children now. I'm married now, whatever. It's a lot.
Okay.
So we're good for the most part. I'm good. But it's still a lot of mental stress that I go through, a lot of paranoia. I don't know. It's a lot of, I don't know the proper term for it, but it's basically like my mental health is fucked up right now, and I don't really have time to deal with it. So that's where I'm at with that. I finally got a lawyer to take my case, you know, Googling a whole bunch of stuff, calling hundreds of lawyers, repeating the same story over and over and over again, fucking up my soul. I finally got a lawyer to take the case. He's doing it pro bono, which, you know, people don't understand. Like, basically, they take it for free, and they kind of charge you a certain amount of your earnings at the end, whatever. So
yeah, they take a commission of from your winnings, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Minor details of that. I'm right now, I feel like they're paying him off. I got him to take the case maybe a year ago now. Being is that I already have my evidence. I literally already have court certified DNA evidence. I feel like he should at least be incarcerated. Like, something should have happened already. So the fact that my lawyer's kind of dragging his feet, his communication is not there, which it started off so great, but once he got in contact with them, then it just went downhill. What else was that? Yeah, so I'm at a point of trying to figure out if I should get another lawyer, if I should just continue to publicize this and do the shit myself. I feel like he's definitely being paid off. We got as far as a judge signing off for them to take, for him to take a paternity test. But then, you know, when it becomes a time for us to do that, then he says it's not valid because the judge never signed off on it. So then now we're waiting for the judge to sign off on it. Like, it's a bunch of shit that makes no sense to me. He's not actively emailing me, sending me my documents on, you know, what he's saying to them and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at with it. This is why I'm here now talking about it, publicizing it, because this shit is, it's like I'm done with this back and forth shit. Like, it's like a fucking mental game I've been playing with these you know, fucktards. And I'm tired of this shit because, yeah, I probably shouldn't say that. I was about to get all violent. But basically, like, you know, like, I need a change. And before my daughter's a certain age, like, I want this already to be done with, so, you know, I can start her healing process, because, yeah, I'm going to have to tell her about this shit as she's getting older, and, you know, it's going to be a whole thing with that. What my real father is my grandfather, like, the fuck, like, you know, shit like that. So, overall, right now, I'm good as far as, you know, maintaining on a day-to-day. My children are good, you know, everybody's dressed, clothed, ate, whatever. But it's the little things in the behind the scenes that's really bothering me. Or maybe not so much bothering me, but that I'm not letting go of. I feel a certain amount of can't stop, won't stop. So
you think you could you think you might want to go, like, I don't know, therapy or counseling for that, to just talk about it?
definitely need a therapist. I'm crazy as hell. Nah, I feel like it really would do me a lot of justice because, for one example, and just to put it out there, I can't even watch a family movie with my children, like just enjoy it. We're watching a movie as a family. We have food, just like that. I'm always like breaking down or having my side thoughts or like, oh, the mom came back home. Hooray. Mm-hmm. Damn, my mom didn't come back home. Shit like that. Like, I don't want to go through that. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like a therapist would come in here.
That's kind of how I feel. Like, that's kind of how I felt. Like watching TV, like watching movies with the happily ever after love story, right?
Right.
And like
right.
I didn't like I feel like I was robbed of that, and like to watch these people like enjoy it, it kind of like fucking tilts me a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm with it, and it's really like. It's really nerve-wracking. It's like I can't really just enjoy the movie with my kids. I gotta like step off and go cry to myself real quick and come back like I'm a whole gangster.
If there's anything I learned, with that experience, right? And I look to impart this to you or anyone. I would say that you can still have a happy ending. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can still have your happy. You can still have your happy ending. You know what I'm saying? And and then these movies, two things, right? These movies don't have to bother you, especially if you create your own happy ending, and because then you'll be able to relate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I don't feel like I'm there yet.
Yeah, I know. It takes time.
Isn't at the same time, I feel like that's me being ungrateful because there's so many good things that's happening to me right now. I mean, for starters, my children are all healthy, that type of thing. We're good. I have my own place. Like, everybody's straight. So I feel like I really shouldn't be thinking about this shit or, wasting my time on it. But I don't know. It's kind of like it haunts me in a way, too.
Well, because like, you have to accept the fact that this happened, but, like, at the same time, you still have, like, be able to... I know it's a process, but, like, eventually, like, move on. You know what I'm saying? Like... It's not like it'll get easier until it's like reduced to like to a level that not even like that doesn't even matter. Like it probably will never go away, but it could be reduced, kind of like a STD. Like
it gets easier with time. I get it.
And probably and who knows? Perhaps even one day, it'll be reduced to a level that's like not even detectable.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So, for me, that level would be having enough maturity and forgiveness to have a fucking picnic with my mother or something like that and the kids. Like, feel like...
So instead of, like, building a relationship with your mom, even though she was kind of complicit with all this going on.
Right. She was terrible as a mother growing up.
And you want to, like, just reestablish a relationship with her? Tell me more.
Yeah, yes and no. So for one, I'm just naturally like affectionate and like you know what I'm saying. I'm like a lovable person. So I battle also with myself. It's like, okay, yeah, my mother did some fucked up shit. She literally violated my life. Obviously, she didn't really give fuck that too much about me, but at the same time, that's still my mom. And she's obviously going through some mental shit herself to even think this shit was okay or to even be in a position to help this man do this shit or to help him cover it up. So she's obviously under a certain amount of pain herself and mental control. So I feel like with him going to jail and stuff like that, that could free her some shit too. And I want to get to a level where I can have a conversation with her like, fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know, and
Maybe may I suggest that maybe you have like group counseling, and like you
I like that.
You first you have to invite her, then she has to accept, and then if she accepts then you set it up. But his thing, she might not want to accept, and if she doesn't, well, I mean, you have to be at peace with
like
knowing that you've done all that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of her, she wants to be in her grandchildren's life. So, also adding, I have an older brother, and he recently had a baby too. Like I said, growing up with them.
Oh, really? Really? Men have babies now?
You know what I meant. Don't do that. Nah, but
I started from Dragon Ball Super. I've been watching a lot of that lately.
Wait, you said what?
I started from Dragon Ball Super. I've been watching a lot of that lately.
Don't let it fuck your mind up.
Vegeta, you don't look pregnant. Not me, you fucking weirdo. It's Bulma, my wife.
Nah, but listen, you know, with society now, that's a whole nother subject. But him and his shorty, they just had a baby together, whatever. And we're not in each other's lives at all. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way they raised us. They literally, like, you know, kind of turned us against each other as kids. Like, they had us separated. So that's kind of just how we are. He, like, you know, puts other people first. Whatever. Mind the details. I'm saying that I called this lady for Mother's Day because I was in my feelings. I'm like, should I be petty and be like, hey, are you having a great Mother's Day without your kids because you're terrible? Or should I be like, hey, Mom, I actually miss your ass?
Well, how do you really feel and what do you want to do? It's up to you,
I feel
really.
like both.
You feel like both?
Yeah, see, and then that's another thing. Like, I'm really...
Because, I was saying that because the key to all this is, like, you know, like, what do you want? Do you want,
right.
You know what I'm saying, do you want to, like
eventually, I do want a relationship with my mother because I want my children to know what my mother looked like, well, what their mommy's mom looked like, and, you know, that type of thing. Like, I want them to know they do have a grandmother. Well, I mean, they have grandparents around them and stuff like that, my husband's side, but, you know, it's levels to it. It's different. But ultimately, I don't feel like I would ever trust her again, like, at all. Like, I wouldn't even let her take them to the bathroom or nothing. Like, I don't know. But I want to be in her presence sometimes. I want her to, I don't know, I guess I should say I have flashbacks of the good moments that we had when I was growing up, so it makes me miss her like that. So it makes me want to have that relationship with her, or at least help her to eventually get some mental counseling. I don't know. Like, I care that much. I feel like I want to kick on her chest, too, but I also care. So it's like I'm kind of in between both. They got me feeling crazy. I don't know.
All right. I know this already, but I mean it this time. I got two last questions. What's it called? I'm about to forget one of them. So before I do that, let me ask you one I remember. So were you always Muslim, or like was that like a new development? What's that?
This is a newfound thing that I've been on since 2020.
And what led to the change?
So I am actually Muslim. I took my shahada and everything. I actually do the prayers and all of that Muslim stuff. What changed? Me needing to change. Me having that need to reparent myself, to teach myself, so I'm able to teach my child, that type of thing. Me learning about new things, and a lot of the religion I believed in. There's a lot of things about it that I don't agree with, but overall, I'm comfortable with it, because I also went to Catholic school, Lutheran school, like, that type of thing, so I kind of was exposed to the majority of the religions and stuff like that, and this one I feel like I'm more myself with. And I like wearing my hijab. It makes me feel pretty. I don't know, that type of thing. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm all into it as far as the way most other Muslim people or people that are following Islamic, you know, culture. Like, I don't wear the whole everything. I just wear the hijab. I wear regular clothes and stuff like that. So other Muslims be looking at me like, what are you doing?
So so both of your husband are Muslim, or just you?
My husband is too.
Okay, and I presume you're gonna raise your kids to be Muslim as well, right? Or how's that gonna work?
I feel like I will, yeah. And then I also like it because as far as like raising the child, as that, you know, that it automatically makes the child more conservative and that type of thing. And you know, going through all of this, I really want my daughter to be like as safe as possible or as covered up as possible. I don't know. Not like where I'm crazy with it, but I don't know. I like it. And she likes hearing me, you know, sing the songs or whatever. And do the prayers and stuff. She's like into it with me, so I feel like I will raised in that. But also I like that as far as being Muslim, you really take it as far as you want to. So the people who literally cover up everything but their eyes, that they do that because they want to, or they just made an agreement with whatever husband they have. But that's not necessarily what it's about. So I really like it, and I try to practice it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was always curious, like, so, like, how do you guys have sex? Like, you just have the hijab on all the time, or like?
No, in your house you don't have to wear it. It's more of an outside thing. It's more like a.
Do you have to wear it when there's company over, or like? Yeah. Oh, you have to wear it. When, so you should, yes. So you're my tongue. Yeah, you're in your own house, right? And company's coming over, right? Mm-hmm. Male or female, right? You have to wear it.
Yeah. So most of the time, if it's a male, you have to be covered up. But if it's like close family, you could show your hair and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's levels to it, but like I said, it's still relatively new to me, and then I'm still my own person. So I'm also trying to figure out my balance and how I want to go about it, so I don't do everything the way I'm supposed to, or the way somebody that has been practicing this since they were born goes about it. So
I like how, because I've been having some technical difficulties that I've been fixing, and on my way to fixing with the app and the platform and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Congratulations on this too, by the way.
Oh, well, you're kind of too late, but thank you.
It's not too late. It's better late than never.
But the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm kind of backed up with the whole content output, right? And tell me how it's kind of funny. Like the most recent item I have on the playlist, right? Is I forgot what it's called, the latest episode of This Muslim Girls podcast. That's one of the podcasts I have in the app's library. So that was an interesting coincidence. That's the most recent item, most recent archived item in the library. And then when I finish recording this right now, this will be the most recent thing in the library until I bring everything back up, bring everything back from the backlog, whatever. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then my last point is I was going to just say real quick. It's like my close personal friend, right, who's also my partner, and that's I probably said too much with that already, but whatever. I'm going. If you know, you know, and I probably dropped enough hints for you to find out if you follow us. So like she has a daughter, and she's just turned 9, whatever, right? And it's very interesting how like she raises her, because she's a single mom, and nobody knows like who the dad is, right? She's very private. She doesn't really say what happened. Like all we know is that she's just a single mom, right? She's very secretive about that and stuff like that. And so I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like he ran away. I don't know if he got killed. I don't know if it was like he raped her and then left. Whatever. I don't know, right? I just find it very interesting the way she raises her, stuff like that. So she don't she don't tell nobody, her address or like where she lives or whatever. She has nobody over her house, right? Like it's very, very rare people. Like she's had very, very few, very rare people she had to, like that she lets in. Like, and I'm like actually like flattered I'm one of them. I'm saying like I remember one time I was passing by, and I saw my boy Mike on the stoop. I was like, hey, what's good, Mike? What you doing here? Oh, I'm just waiting for Sarah. I'm gonna give her driving lessons, right? And I just said her name. Look at that.
You did. I try to act like you didn't.
It's like, she told me to wait out here, but she's coming there. All right, cool. Tell us what's up. And then so right, and so that, right, and then again, like she don't let nobody like again, like I'm flattered that I'm like one of the few people who like actually step foot in her home, right? Hang out with her daughter, right? You know what I'm saying? Like what we talk, we play TV, watch TV, play fight, all these other stupid things that we do, little kids, right? And I remember one time I came in the house, right? And she saw me through the window. She's like, "Oh, that's Jerry's there, right?" She got all hype. She gonna open the door and let me in, right? And I say, "Oh, hello, is your mom home?" I was like, "Yeah, she's coming." And then she came down. Right? She's like, "Joe, real quick, just real quick." Like, all right. And then she got a pillow, and she pitched it like with brute force at her. Right? Keep in mind, right? This girl, the kid is like what? She's like very petite. Like small, like a hiccup, right? And like so, this cushion like knocks her off her feet on her ass. It's like, what's that for? It's like I said, don't open the door for nobody, right? But I don't care. Get me, like
they're supposed to be like that, right?
Yeah. And I just feel I was like, that's a very interesting way to like raise kids. One time I went to the beach, right? And like we was both on the blanket, and she told her make sure that you don't go, like, leave our sight, whatever, right? And no stuff like that, right? And so I guess apparently she met these kids around her age to go play with, right? Made friends with new kids on the beach, right? And they're playing, right? And then we realized, where's she? We couldn't see her. And so we're looking for her, right?
I would have panicked.
Yeah, I mean, not that. Yeah, like for a brief while, we kind of were panicking, but we found her. We found her. They didn't take long to find her, and then she's over there. She's playing for I guess she made some new friends or whatever. She's playing with them, right? It's like all right, and then she got like a whole clump of wet sand, right, and molded it nice together and threw it at her. Again, this girl, she's smaller than a hiccup, right? So it might as well have been a baseball she threw at her, right? It like hit her head, and she like not fell down to the ground, right? So like I told she said I told you like, let us know if you go move somewhere, so we keep eye on you. Right. See, that's why somebody's yelling at you. So that's why somebody's whatever at you, because you don't listen and stuff like that. And like you could say that she is that is kind of like hard, but like I understand where she's coming from.
Right now,
huh?
It's not hard. It's not like she went up to her and punched her in the face. That's how you need to compare it. She didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was more so like, I don't want to really embarrass you, so I'm not going to get loud with you, but I need you to understand the severity in what you're doing and why it's not okay. So,
yeah, but she violently threw an item at her and then knocked her off on her ass in front of, well, not public setting because her house.
Yeah, but at the same time though, that shows that she cares.
Yeah,
that she's
I agree.
Everybody has their own ways of operating with their children, because like I said, every child is different. Every child develops differently. So some kids really be trying you though. Like my daughter.
You know the crazy thing? She's already a good enough kid, but like I agree. But
and I love that you like cared. I get what you're saying. Like you felt like it was kind of harsh, but at the same time, also I don't know. You don't know what that does for a mother mentally. So it's like, oh shit, like I'm like feeling crazy. Like I just kind of lost my baby for a few seconds. Like so, she probably was just full of anger, and that's
trust me. I could if you don't believe me, like, years later when she hears this replay black, right? I'm gonna tell. Trust me, you might not think so, but your mom loves you, and I have proof. I have stories to tell you for days. Like my last story would be. One time, right?
Listen, don't just be talking about your friend, okay? Because she's not gonna be your friend, boy. Put a business out there like that.
She's fine with me saying this stuff, especially since I didn't mention her name. I did, but like that was like the fake version of her name. Don't worry, the fake. we have a system figured out. Don't worry. Real quick, I remember one time I was working from home, and she had to go to her office for work, right? And she was home alone, so she called again. This very flattering how like I'm one of the rare few people that she would trust, like let me in. You know what I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying that.
Which is why
that deep. Right. She's like, say, listen, that she's not feeling well, so like just do favor, just come over here, keep an eye on her, stuff like that, and right. And so I'm there on my laptop, right? Like she's doing whatever she's doing, right? And like everything seems fine. I swear she seemed fine, right? And so what's it called? We're watching TV, and so So like I decided, let me teach her. I'm gonna teach her how to kick a soccer ball, right? And so we go to the yard. I'm like kicking the soccer ball, right? So this how you gotta do it, right? You gotta use like that little part of your foot right between your toes and like your actual foot itself. I forgot how you call it, right? The bounce like that. I'm showing her how to kick it, right? And so I give it to her, and she does it wrong, right? And she kicks it and goes like somewhere off to the side. And so I go to get the ball, right? And then I come back, turn around, she's on the floor, right? And so like I call again, like sheer panic. I called the like ambulance, went to the hospital, right? The mom came, right? She didn't say nothing. She just came and just smacked the shit out of me, right? Like one time, knocked the change in my pocket and everything. You ever been hit so hard the shit in your pocket falls out? The shit, like on some Super Saiyan shit, like the shit in your pocket fall out, right?
I wish I was a fly on the wall. That sounds so animated and hilarious. I'm sorry for your
right?
Yeah,
but thankfully she was fine. What's it called? Like, I guess she took some stuff from the medicine cabinet because she was trying to stuff. Again, these kids nowadays are too fucking smart. They think they know everything. She's trying to medicate herself, right? Took like I don't know some kind of like aspirin, something from the cabinet, something from the cabinet, right? And she took some, and like that caused her to fall out, right? And then like that's what happened, right? So like it really wasn't my fault because like I didn't know that she did that, right? I was supposed to keep an eye on her, but like I didn't think she was going to go in the fucking cabinet and take drugs. What the fuck?
Nah, I feel you though. Damn, poor baby. Oh my gosh.
But I mean, she was fine. The doctor gave her a diuretic, so it's like out her system faster. It would have left her system eventually, and it wasn't like anything to be worried about, really. You know what I'm saying? So thank God for that. She gave her a diuretic, right? And then like the mom even apologized to me. And the thing that struck me, right, with two things, right? How so like normally, right? You know, again, like she would like she would yell at her, like, you know, get like violent or whatever, right? Throw like a pillow or a fucking thing of sand or hit, or use the fucking slipper or the belt, whatever, to hit her, right? She do none of that stuff, no yelling, none of that. She just like she explained to her like how dangerous that was. Don't ever do that shit ever again. Like, don't play with this stuff, all right? So I thought that was kind of like, you know, like I thought that was like kind of a cool thing, like a nice thing. Like this time she didn't like get angry or punitive. She just like talked to her, explained that this is serious stuff. Don't ever do that ever again. You could have died, right? And then she apologized for hitting me, whatever, and it wasn't my fault and stuff like that. And the part that kills me is what the kids said when she came home. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't kick the ball very well. You probably never want to play with me ever again. That right? That shit. It's mad wild, but yeah. But I mean, keep an eye on your kids, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying, protect them, and also like pay attention to them. Not just like listen
for their movement and shit.
Pay attention, yeah. Like not like listen, like not just hear them, but listen to them too, because you never know. They could be telling you like facts, and, like you know, their day or like some story they're telling. It could be like something deeper than that. So like, just keep an eye on them. No, don't let every Tom's dick that's hairy around them. You know what I'm saying? Like
that. Like, and then crazy for me too. Like, these are my parents, my biological parents who fucking raised me. Like,
I was about to say, like, you can't.
So for me, it's like, who do I really trust? After that, the man, the one person who's supposed to hold me down for life, like, yo, literally, like,
yeah.
Fuck, like, what? Like,
you know, like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like, you can't even trust your parents. So I was gonna say, like, watch who they hang out with. You know, learn who their friends are. You know what I'm saying? You know, watch what they're saying. Like, yeah, that's what I gotta say. Like, I remember my pastor one time said how, like, he had a friend, right, and like he seemed mad cool, and he was like very charming, very cool. It didn't seem like he was like a grimy type of dude, right? And so he brought him home to his crib, and like his mom was very respectful, very courteous, and very like a very gracious host to him, right? Offering food and like being all polite and respectful and gracious to him and all that stuff, right? And then the moment he left, right, when he left, he's like, "Don't ever bring that boy to my house ever again." I could kind of relate to that, because like it might seem like, well, what's the problem? Like he's not like a bad guy. Like as cliche as it sounds, like you gotta keep on your friends and like tell them who not to hang out with and who to hang out with, whatever the fuck I'm saying.
That's a fact, yeah.
So that's all I gotta say about that. I think that's pretty much it. Anything you want to add real quick?
Yes. To the people who are listening, thank you so much for taking your time to do that, supporting me, and all that great stuff. If you happen to have any resources, like news reporter numbers and stuff like that, I need to get this out there. So if you could help me in any type of way, please do that. You can reach me on my Instagram. It's Lovin, LOVIN _Jaida, JAIDA. Hit me up, please, because this shit's crazy, and I'm not about to stop. And there's going to be a part 2, because, like you said, it's going to be a happy ending, one way or another, and I'll let you know when that happens, which will be soon from now, because I have my evidence, and,
Do you know somebody in Georgia?
Yes.
Okay, I got somebody from Grovetown, Georgia. Do you hear that sound? That every time my phone makes that sound, it means like a brand new first time ever user of the app.
Okay. Well, hello to you.
Hold on. Who's that? Is that you? Is it texting me just now? Oh no, somebody else. Never mind.
Nope.
So somebody just texted me, say, "Okay, I will download it." And call me baby. All right.
Oh.
I probably shouldn't get this number out on the air, but yeah. But yeah. All right. I'm glad you downloaded my app. Bet.
And to you, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's crazy. I know I sound pretty enthusiastic and that type of thing, but the mental stress that this puts on me is crazy. So to anybody else going through this type of thing, I can very much understand, and you should hit me up and talk about it as well, because from experiencing all of this, getting it out, talking about it, like letting somebody know that this person is not a person, it's important. It's relieving. It's a lot of things. I
just want to do quick plugs real quick. Just want to plug one of our sponsors, BetterHelp. So like if you want to like just get some counseling or just talk to somebody about whatever's going on, you can hit them up. BetterHelp. You don't have to leave your house. You can just have a virtual session with them, really. So just check that out for any counseling or just talk to anybody. Check that out. And also, even though this is not really a sponsor of mine, just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Stephen P. New at the law office of Stephen P. New. He hold on, I can't find it right now. Find the commercial, but yeah, hit him up. This one's free, by the way. Stephen, if you're listening, but you can hit him up. Like if Stephen can't help you, then you're probably beyond help, and he'll tell you that because he's honest. And that's the type of guy you want in your corner. So Stephen P. New. He does all sorts of. He stands. Oh God, where the fuck is Jim Cornette? Hold on, he'll do a better job plugging this. I would. Oh my, Stephen P. New. Oh my God. He stands up for the little person against greedy, avaricious, rapacious people. He defends the little person. He handles civil cases. His specialty is even though it's not what's it called, domestic disputes, but he or any of his team members could help you out. You have to what's the website? Damn, this is a very bad plug. What's his website? Just search Stephen P. New at New Law Offices.
Okay.
He's a very, very
Is that out of New York?
No. No.
Okay.
But you can check that out. Stephen P. New. He's the guy to sue. An outlaw mudshore too. And you don't listen to Jim Cornette's podcast, so you don't know. But yeah, just thought to shout him out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, not really.
All right. Cool. All right. So bet. Stay in touch. All right. Like keep me apprised of what's going on, and hopefully back for like the part 2. For those of you listening right now, I'm gonna sign off right now, but I'll be back later on after it's Wednesday, right? I'll be back later on after Dynamite, immediately after 10 p.m. Eastern time. Stay tuned for that. Yeah. So remember, the hotline is 917-283-8956. Will be open. Lines will be open tonight. They weren't open now for obvious reasons, and yeah, just stay tuned. So. This recording should be this. So when I press stop, right? It should be archived in a few minutes. So I'm sending the link, and it's yours to do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay, thank you. You are so awesome of a person.
Hardly. Hoboken, New Jersey. You know anybody from there?
Not sure, but hi.
All right. That's again. Did you hear the sound? The little doorbell sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time you hear that sound, it means I have a new app user. Either that or like a new device that's never been. Yeah. So yeah, and it tells me like the zip code. It tells me like the state, and it tells me the city.
Well, I will be hitting you up because you are very resourceful.
Think so?
You're a great person. Yes.
I'm a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy. Yes, you are. You've always been. Thank you so much for this.
All right. All right. Well, there you go, kids.